morning, everybody. It is 5:30 on a Friday. It's time to get after it. Get up, grab a cup of Joe, and let's go with coffee. I got my King's Coast right here, baby. I'm ready to rock and roll. It's almost a weekend, guys. I'm pretty excited. It's been a long week, and I'm ready to chillax with the family, play some video games this weekend. Lots of video games to play, man. Lots of stuff to play. So I want to tell you congratulations for getting up and not hitting that snooze button. Grab your cup of Joe and let's go. All right, guys. So a couple things we're going to talk about today. Let me just restart that real quick. If this is your first time watching the morning show, then you are more than welcome to either call us or send us an email. You can leave us a voicemail. The voicemail is 512-571-3907. If you watch one of the past shows on either YouTube or our Mixer channel here on the VOD, feel free to leave us a voicemail and kind of discuss some of the topics we've been talking about. We've talked about some pretty good topics the last few days that we've done this. So, but if you want to chime in, you're certainly welcome to do that. We'll play your voicemail on the show. If you have any really awesome clips that you want to share, we will feature them on the show as well. You can email us at themulebag@mulehorngaming.com. So if you'd like to do that, you can. It doesn't matter what game it is, man. It could be Destiny, it could be Fortnite, it could be Apex, it could be WoW, whatever it is, man. If you got a funny or cool clip you want to share with us, send it on into us. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat as well so you guys can see it who are watching this maybe on YouTube. The Mulebag, mulehorngaming.com, right there. And of course the call-in number, I'm going to throw that down in chat as well, right there. All right, so how you guys been doing? I've been doing pretty good. Been playing a lot of different games lately. Been playing a lot of Apex. Got my battle pass to 100. So that's pretty cool. Been playing some solos. Been playing some Anthem. Let's see what else. I'm actually starting to play a little bit more Destiny again. I'm starting to get back into Destiny. I'm starting to grind out. I'm only on my blue armor, but I'm getting there. I'm starting to grind a little bit there. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing lately and kind of the games I've been playing. But today, a couple of things I want to talk about. Is the huge news that was making waves everywhere yesterday, especially for someone like myself, because I'm a huge BioWare fan, man. God, I love BioWare games, and all the games that they've made, I've thoroughly enjoyed. I don't think there's been a game that they've made yet that I'm just like, man, this game is crap. I'm not enjoying this game, you know. But the big news that I'm talking about, of course, is the lead producer, Ben Irving, leaving BioWare. He's leaving BioWare, and he's actually going to another game company, I guess you could say. Let me pull it up here on the screen for you guys so you can see it. But yeah, he sent out a tweet yesterday, and of course, you know, every news organization that there is out there started kind of talking about Ben and why he's leaving, and here's kind of what he said. I'm going to read through it real quick. This is the 3-part tweet, and he says, after 8 amazing years at BioWare, I've made the decision to move on, and I've accepted an opportunity at another gaming company. Here, let me throw this up on the big screen for you so you can see it a little bit better. He says, I accepted another exciting opportunity at another gaming company. Since the first time I ever played Baldur's Gate, many years ago, BioWare was the dream place I always wanted to work. I'll forever be grateful to all the people who gave me a chance to work on this great products with amazing people. I believe Anthem has a bright future. There is a great team working on it, and I look forward to following its progress and playing it from the sidelines. He does play it, guys. I've known some people that played with him. I have really enjoyed interacting with the Anthem community, streams, Twitter, Reddit, through the good times and through the tough times. You're all in great hands with, and it's the 2 community managers, that's UNT Drew and Jesse Anderson. Have been for quite some time. I wish nothing but the best for you all, Ben. You know, man, that was kind of like it was kind of a bummer for me, right? It was kind of a bummer for me because some of you guys know recently we made EA Game Changers, which is awesome. I've thoroughly enjoyed all the EA games that I played. As bad as that is to say for some people I know that hate EA and it's like, EA needs to die. I have thoroughly enjoyed a lot of the games that EA has made. Probably one of the funnest interviews we ever did was right before Mass Effect Andromeda came out. Our podcast that we do on Thursday nights, the Analog Assault podcast, we interviewed the voice actor for Scott Ryder in Mass Effect Andromeda. And that was probably one of the coolest interviews that we had because, hearing his stories and things like that. And so when I got this opportunity to go to EA Play in LA, it was just really cool because I got to meet people like Eric's. I got to meet and hang out with Eric's. One of the coolest parts in that story is, we're sitting there at EA Play, right, in our special content creator area. And the new Star Wars trailer dropped, right, for the new Jedi game. And we're both sitting there, and I was like, oh, Eric's, have you seen the trailer yet? It's like, no, I haven't seen it yet. So we literally pulled out our phones, sitting there beside each other, and watched the trailer together and just talking about it, So EA has provided a lot of really cool opportunities for myself just to meet great people. Probably the highlight for me at EA Play was getting to meet Casey Hudson when I was there, which was awesome. It was very, very brief, but Chad, head of live service for EA BioWare, actually introduced me to Casey Hudson as he was there. Kind of a low key, I think. Him coming there was kind of low key and under the radar. But getting to see him and meet him was pretty awesome because he's helped make some of my favorite games ever, which was absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, I got to meet Ben Irving. And, man, I really, really wish that we had a podcast that we recorded while we were there. But I have a mini recorder, which I actually might be able to pull out and show you guys. So this thing is very handy for kind of some of the things that we do. So Roland, and let me, I don't know if you can see that very good. It's a Roland, and it's an audio recorder, and it actually records quite well when it comes to audio. But for some reason, it takes like a mini SSD. You can kind of see like right in this area, you can put in an SSD right there, or SD, sorry. And it got corrupted, and so like every single one of my audio files on that little chip drive and the podcast we recorded with Ben Irving was corrupted. And it sucks, man, because Ben actually kind of told his whole story on how he got into gaming, which is phenomenal, by the way. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's basically what every podcaster or streamer or anybody else that wants to work in the gaming industry dreams of. He basically pulled himself and his family up from Australia, moved to BioWare's headquarters and said, I want to work for you guys, and found a way to get a job there and work for them. And then, of course, eventually started working on Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and then, of course, Anthem. But it's just an incredible story, because anybody that does that just kind of goes out and pursues their, I guess, dream, you could say, it's quite amazing. Like it was just really cool to hear his story on that, and I really, 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 really wish you guys could have heard that. Now, I do know the Freelancer Codex guys that we're friends with. They did get the chance to interview Ben while we were there as well, and they said they got to hear a little bit of his story there. So if you do want to listen to it, you can always go visit them, the Freelancer Codex guys, on either YouTube or Twitter, and you can actually listen to that episode there. All right, so let's get into. Let me just take a little sip of my cafe right here. So let's get into some of the things I wanted to talk about today. And that's it's kind of it's going back into streaming, but it's also I want to throw out a couple of thoughts here. One of those is talking about the right mindset. changing your lens and your attitude, and how those can affect you, right? How those can affect you, your content, just your life in general, right? And the first thing I'm going to say is attitude, and I'm not going to say whose name it was because I don't want him to feel like I'm singling him out, because I've actually played some video games with this guy before. But he was a streamer on Mixer, and he had people who were telling him, hey, your content's not that great. Some people were pretty rude to him. Some people were trying to give him constructive criticism that, hey, you need to up your game on your stream. And so he decided, Mixer is just not it for him, right? Which is fine. Like, there's no reason why you can't go stream on whatever platform you want to stream on. But I think the big thing that kind of bothered me, and I think was not the smart move, because one, it burns bridges, is the decision to tweet that he went to Twitch and he got so many more viewers, and F all the guys that told him his content is crap. First of all, you never do that, right? Like in content creation, I've been doing it now for 4 years. Content creation, you have your ups and downs, right? You have the good and you have the bad. And part of having this good perspective and having your mindset is you really need to have a mentally tough mindset, because as a content creator, you're going to get lots of people telling you how you need to do your job better, right? Oh, you did this and that sucks. Oh, you did this, that's cool. Oh, you did this, that sucks. Because everybody's like the armchair quarterback, right? Everybody's telling you, the Sunday morning quarterback. Well, if you did this and did that, you would be a lot better at this, right? Everybody wants to be, the Sunday morning quarterback and tell you how your content's not that great. Even though they may not be the ones that's going out there and trying to do the content. But this guy, who I've known and played with, and again, I'm not trying to single him out, so I'm not saying his name. I'm not trying to chastise him in any way. I'm just pointing out an opportunity here for him to grow, an opportunity for you here to listen to this situation and learn from it and grow from it, because that's all what we want to do as content creators, right? That's all what we want to do as people, is learn from our mistakes and grow from it, right? And not stay the same. But you gotta have that thick skin, man. You gotta have that thick skin with criticism. I mean, when here's a great example for just myself, as we'll continue his story in a second. When we became EA Game Changers, we announced it on Twitter. Almost immediately, random people that I have never known on Twitter, wherever, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it was that we announced it, started saying, "Oh, you're a paid shield." I'm like, okay, all right. That's immediately the comments that we got is, "Oh, we can't trust you now. You're paid." I'm like, I haven't got paid for anything. They're just giving me access to games, and so, as a content creator, you gotta have that thick skin. You gotta let stuff like that roll off your back. So going back to this Mixer streamer, now Twitch streamer, in his situation, he's got to take the high road on that, right? Because that's what we all should do. That's ideally, doesn't always work, right? Because we all have emotions. Sometimes we let our emotions cloud our judgment. But you got to take the high road on that. When someone's telling you your content is crap, right? And you think, there may be a few things I need to change, but I don't think it's crap. Then what you need to do, the response you should have for that then should go out and get after that, create better content, and grow your stream. And then when you see it expanding, say, hey, thank you for the support. That's what you say there. You say, thank you for the support. You don't go and acknowledge your haters. You don't go and acknowledge your critics, because all that does is empower them to continue to harass you, right? We see that in all kinds of games through EA, right? We see people who will constantly just badger people online, they'll harass them online, and sometimes the best thing to do is not even acknowledge them, because you depower them. You don't give them the ability to continue to harass you. Now, some people may persist and things like that, but there's this amazing feature on Twitter called the mute button. I don't just block people, I just mute them. So they can have a conversation all they want to about me or being a shield for EA or whatever it would be, but I won't hear it or see it. It doesn't affect me in any way. So as a content creator, as a streamer, you gotta have that thick skin. A great example of a dude that I saw, and I'm going to give him a shout out because he's an amazing guy. A great example of a guy that I know that has been streaming for a while. He made a huge push for a partner. That's Lupo to the rescue right here, and he's playing like he's got a hosted thing on right now. But Lupo to the rescue right here. Go follow Lupo to the rescue. This guy right here, right, started streaming. It was streaming like I don't know how many days a week. Made a huge push, and got denied partner, I think 6 different times. Like 6 different times. And they were telling him all this, all that, all this. And Lupo did such a great job of having that thick skin, taking the criticism and improving himself and finding ways to improve himself, that look at where he is now. He's almost at 4K followers. He made it today. Hey, Robbie, what's up? He's almost at 4K followers. And this is a guy that after hearing all the criticism, all the crap, he could have very well just said, all right, maybe I'm not good enough to be a streamer, right? But if you go and watch his streams, they are so fantastic. Not only is he a great guy, but he's a great streamer who definitely is partner material. And so I just wanted to give him a shout out and say he's a good example of what you should look for in having thick skin as a content creator, right? I mean, you get it all the time, right? And I think the best thing you can do, and the best thing that you can say when you get criticism about either yourself or your stream or any content you produce, is thanks for the feedback, and just leave it at that. You take some of the good and you leave some of the bad, right? Because there is a little bit of truth in criticism, but not always, not 100% of it, right? So you'll have people that'll say, oh, da-da-da, Mule, you need to do this or this or that. And they may actually give you a great idea to get better. One example of that is Underdog, right? The last podcast, he was like, he's starting to help edit a little bit to take some pressure off me, and he's like, hey, I think you should change up this and this and this on the podcast. And I was like, hey, you know what? Let's implement one of those. The other one, I was like, not so much. But some of the others, I was like, hey, that's a good idea, you know? So I think, you know, when you have that thick skin, when you're open to criticism, and you can at least engage and listen, that will help you tremendously, not only in content creation, but in life, right? I mean, get that even in jobs. So moving into kind of the theme I have with that thick skin is having the right mindset. You gotta have the right mindset, man. When it comes to anything in life, right? It's the easiest thing to do is to always look at the negative. But if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we watched a video from the Jocko podcast where he basically said if you're in a situation and you can say good, then you can learn from it, right? So if you can get that mindset of, okay, I have a problem or have an issue, maybe my podcast is not taking off, maybe my stream is not taking off, maybe whatever, you know, my work is really sucking right now. If you can say good and look at it from the perspective of, okay, hey, I only have 100 people that listen to my podcast every episode. Good. That means I can perfect my craft and get better, right? If you only have 2 people that come to your stream every time you stream, good. I can learn how to build communities. That gives me time to improve my speaking skills. That gives me time to improve my interactivity. that gives me time to work on my scenes and get my scenes better. That gives me time to network with other streamers. So I think having the right mindset in anything that you do, whether it's content creation, life, work, family, whatever it is, it's going to help you. So those two keys together, thick skin and having the right mindset. What up, Coffee? Good morning. And you guys, if you feel like you would like to chat with me about these topics, feel free to jump in either our Discord waiting room and I can bring you up and we can talk, or you can call us in and chat with us about this topic. Because I think it's a really important topic, right? Like the mindset of a streamer, of a podcaster, of a content creator. It can be tough. And so let me give you another example, just in my personal journey, right? There's been many times through these 4 years of making a podcast, making a website, that I was just like, man, this stuff is too damn hard. I got other things I need to do. I got other priorities, right? I got a family, got 4 kids, got a job. Thanks to that host, Coffee Junkie. It's too freaking hard to get this website to run right? It's too freaking hard to do this. There's many times that I just was gonna be done, right? But what helped me is, we kind of talked about this on a few other episodes, is I set my mind to be the hardest grinding content creator, no matter what, right? And so I can fall back on that because I've already made the agreement in myself that, hey, I'm not going to stop. There may be some things that are hard, but it'll be worth it in the end once I figure it out. And there's a lot of things that I've learned on our website and kind of the technical side of our website. And a lot of you guys that don't know, the actual technical stuff, when we first started our website, it was just a free WordPress website, right? Just a free WordPress website, and it didn't have any of this fancy stuff up here like our server or our newsletter or any of this stuff. It was just a rinky-dink. You know what? And it may actually still be up. Let me see. WordPress. What is it? Hold on. Is that WordPress? I think that's how you do it. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't remember. Maybe we shut it down. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Then I met Duro NL, who's actually from the Netherlands. He's like, hey, I'd like to help you make your website better so that more people can see your podcast. And the product that we have now is 4 years of learning, growing, having thick skin, because you always have the critics telling you, oh, your website sucks, or this sucks, or that sucks. And taking some of that criticism and getting better, right? Ooh, look, see, you even got our stream embedded here, so you can see me now as we're streaming. And through that, I took that criticism, gotta have that thick skin, right? I took that criticism and I watched Duro NL and how he made our website and what certain things he did. And I learned and I grew. I watched Circuit do some of the more technical things on our website, and I learned and I grew. So now most of the stuff that you see on the website, I can actually do. And that's all part of the process, right? As you grow as a content creator, as you grow as a person, that's kind of what you have to do as a content creator. If you're staying the same, right? If you're staying the same, if you're not growing, if you're not getting better, then you're really doing yourself no service at all. You're really not helping yourself as a content creator, as a streamer, as a podcast, whatever it would be. Anytime that you notice you're just, staying the same, that's usually not a good sign, guys. I mean, even in work, if you notice at work that you're just kind of, just cruising along, you're staying the same, it's usually not a good sign, because either you've got complacent or your job, or your boss doesn't trust you, or, some things like that. There may be those rare occasions where, you just kind of hit a groove for a while, or a plateau for a while. But you should never just stay the same. get some coffee in here. So that's kind of some of the topics. What do you guys think? What do you think, Robbie? What do you think? You think it's important to have thick skin, or is this just a bunch of fluff? I want to hear from some of you guys that are out in the community what you think about this. And if not, we can move on to kind of some looking through some more stuff with Anthem. But yeah. So going back a little bit to Anthem, and you know, kind of Ben Irving, and hey Robbie, thanks for that tweet, man. Give you a fave right there. Ben is such a good dude, you know. He is such a good guy, and it's really hard. Oh no, you really need thick skin, more so you know, and that's true, Robbie. Like seems like today, like someone's always waiting to be offended, right? Like someone's always waiting to be offended or waiting for their feelings to be hurt. And I think it's kind of a detriment to us as streamers, as podcasters, in our society, in our culture. Because no one can give you feedback anymore, right? Like if the feedback's not fluff, then I don't know. It's just funny. Like having that thick skin is what really, really, really can propel you to being better. But yeah. So kind of back to Ben Irving. This is a guy that has really got it like from all sides, right? There's so many trolls out there. Like even if I look at some of these tweets right here, they're going to be like bad, right? They're going to be really, really bad. Let's see. I saw a few earlier. There's William there when we were at EA Play. Look at this guy right here. This random guy right here. Anthem. Let me pull this up for you so you can see it. Anthem is doomed now. I like Anthem, but if Ben jumps ship, then that's where we will be. Luck if we get an update in 6 months. Really? And I'm not here just trying to be an Anthem. I don't know what you would call it, like fanboy. Because there's definitely things that I think could be improved upon, and we're starting to see that, right? We're starting to see that with the Cataclysm and things like that. But when you say a game is doomed, because like in this situation, it's really weird timing that he's leaving now. But when is a good time to leave a job, right? Never. There's never a good time to leave a job. And when he says he's going to another game company, like that's the thing, man. A lot of people don't know he may have just got a better job offer, or may have been something that there's a lot of BioWare devs that have gone over and created this new studio. Let me see if I can actually find it for you. BioWare dev. Let me just use the Google search here. I found it the other day. I should have bookmarked it for you guys. All right, so here's an older article here. Let me pull this up for you guys. Pull it up on the big screen. I can't remember. It was he was like the lead creative director for some stuff at BioWare. I can't remember exactly what the studio's name was. Aaron Flynn. There he is. Studio in the works, online multiplayer games powered. Okay, so here it is right here. So Aaron Flynn is one of the guys that left, and a couple others that to start a new gaming studio, right? I think that's probably where Ben's going. I think he's probably going to that new studio where some of the older BioWare devs went and left to create something new, right? There was another one that left, creative director that left to go to I think it was a D&D type game. Why do people think that devs just don't have any other personal dreams or wants on their life, Robbie? And then you said that they are not here just for our gaming pleasure. They have their own lives too. You know what? That's exactly right. I mean, I said this on the podcast last night. If you're in a job, right, you're doing your job, you're enjoying your job, and then someone comes along and says, here's a job you would enjoy. Here's a job that your skills would be really good at, and we'll pay you X amount of dollars and give you a promotion. Do you want this position? I'd be like, yeah, let me give my 2 weeks. I'm coming over. You know, like that's the way it is for us in our day jobs, right? I mean, that's the whole thing with Ninja and Mixer. Like, there's people that are like, oh, this guy's a sellout. Like Dr. Disrespect was like, this guy is he's just doing it for the money. And it's like, exactly, Robbie. Like it's almost like we're shackling game developers from personal growth. Like they can't have their own personal growth, right? And maybe some people just don't understand like content creation and you know, game developers and things like that take other opportunities, right? They grow. I mean, here's one situation. There is a job posting out there for a BioWare job, which I think I could do a pretty good job at. I may have sent a little email just as a feeler about it. But one of the things that would suck is that if I did take that position, usually in most contracts for positions like that, you can't create content like this. You can't do it. One of them is because they don't want you to compromise the integrity of the studio or the game. Also, they don't want you to accidentally slip and talk about something that you shouldn't talk about that may be covered under NDA. So if I ever did have that opportunity to work at like say I don't do my own thing here, and I went and worked for Game Informer, or I went and worked for BioWare or Bungie or somewhere like that, I would not be able to create this content. That would be a sacrifice I would have to make. But you know what? That's giving me personal growth. So some people will be like, this is the most horrible thing that Ben could do. He's going to leave Anthem in the state it's in. Why would he do this? Well, he may just had a better opportunity come up that's better for him, better for his family, better for his mental health. Because when we were chatting at EA Play, that guy is so friendly and he's so good with the community. He was giving people hugs he had never met before. He's like, I'm a hugger. We're like, all right, let's hug it out, bro. But he did look tired. Like, and I know that he was working his butt off. Him and the team was working their butt off to get everything prepped and ready for Cataclysm. Because if you look at the state of the game right now for Anthem, Cataclysm has kind of re-energized the Anthem community, right? I mean, you're seeing, and I've shouted him out before, but like your Anthem William, and his content is just, it's coming again, and it's just flowing again. He has lots of really cool stuff to talk about: the weapons, the gear, the war chests, the event itself, how-tos, a lot of great content now. And there was a dry spell we had there for a while. But that's the thing, is it feels like, and I think Underdog said it best on the podcast last night, it feels like that Ben has righted the ship, right? He's got the ball moving in the direction it wanted to go with the game, and now it's time to him to take, his personal endeavors. It's time for him to take a better job. It's time for him to grow. So that's kind of what we were talking about earlier in the show, is that, you got to grow as a content creator, as a streamer, as a developer, as in your own 8 to 5, right? You got to grow. If you're just staying stagnant, you're not really doing yourself any favors. So for all you cool cats, I really appreciate the host, guys. For all you guys here in the chat, if you would like to chime in on some of these topics, if you'd like to talk about the topic we're talking about this morning, feel free to either jump in our Discord in our waiting room, or if you'd like, you can give us a call. You'll see it flash up here, right there, 512-579-3907. You can call us and talk about this topic. Some of the things we're talking about is you got to have thick skin, right? Being a content creator or a streamer or whatever, you got to have thick skin. You got to have the right mindset. So the next thing I want to talk about is changing your lens, right? Sounds kind of funky to say, right? But it's like glasses. If you think of it like my glasses here. If I take my glasses off, my lens that I'm looking through on my eyeballs, not as clear, right? But when I put my lens, my glasses, my lenses back on, I can see everything clearly, right? I think us, and I'm just kind of spitballing this idea here, but I think us as gamers and as streamers need to stop thinking so much like a consumer and think a little bit more like a person in business would. And kind of some of the examples I have for that is when it comes to game development. And I've said this since the get-go with games like Anthem, games like Destiny 2, is you got to give them time to kind of just marinate, right? You got to give the developers time to improve the game. Same thing with Apex. When it first came out, people were like, oh, this is cool, but they just don't have very many characters. Now look at Apex. It has all these new characters. It has a solos. It has all these daily challenges you can do. And people are, I mean, look, it's still, as you can see here, it's still one of the top played games on Mixer right now. And this is at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And you already have it up here consistently, usually in the top 5 of the most streamed games. But I think if we start thinking of like development, gaming in general, more in a little bit more of a business mindset, our lens will be a little bit clearer. So we need to change our lens a little bit. I've said this since day one about Anthem. I've always felt like the developmental cycle that Anthem is on is very similar to Star Wars Battlefront 2. What I mean by that, and let me get a little more sip of my coffee here. I'm getting all revved up this morning. What I mean by that is that Star Wars Battlefront 2 released really, really, really rocky, right? Especially for the microtransactions, which I'm not justifying. Like those micros were... Don't go all dirty on us. No, I'm not going to go that far, Robbie. I'm not going to go that far. That was pretty hilarious though last night. I mean, the micros were bad, right? When Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out. They adjusted them. They did damage control. They adjusted them. They moved forward. But what people wanted Star Wars Battlefront 2 to be took them about a year to get there in the developmental cycle. One, because they had a pretty small team. They didn't have a lot of people working on it. But once we got to about that year of development, dude, the game is fantastic now. There is so much content. There's so many characters in the game. There's so many things, different game modes you can play. I think if we can change our lens a little bit and look at games in that perspective, I think games like Anthem, like there's a time when you need to just put them on the shelf and just wait and let them marinate for a year, let the developers do their work, take a little pressure off of them, and then pull it back off the shelf when things start picking up, like right now. Right now is a great time to play Anthem because of Cataclysm. I think Anthem is very much on that same trajectory. I think they've been working behind the scenes on things and getting them there ready to go, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why Ben is leaving BioWare now. I think it's, because things have been put into motion. He knows it'll be good. You got Chris Schmidt, Chad, others there on the team that they're in great hands. You got 2 great community managers. So I think if we look through a different lens and a lot of things, we will see things a little more clearly. Like the whole situation I was talking about earlier in the show is that, you had that guy, exactly, Coffee. It's a whole different game. It's completely different than what it was when it first started, right? When the game first came out. And like we were saying earlier to the guy on Twitter, and I'm not going to name names, but where he was just like, F my haters. Like, that's just not the way to go, man. Change your lens a little bit and see it through a different lens of like, okay, these guys may be hypercritical of me and my content and my stream or whatnot, but there's probably some good feedback I can take in there and improve upon and get better. And now that I'm getting better and having some success on Twitch, I should just say thank you, right? Because that's really what it boils down to, is even your haters help improve you, Like, I've had people, when we first started our podcast, they're like, oh man, your audio quality is crap. And I was like, yeah, it is, because I don't know how to freaking edit audio. But we had Circuit 8 at the time on the podcast, who was a touring musician for quite some time over in Germany. And he's like, oh, I've been in studios. I know how to edit. I was like, dude, show me your ways. Show me your magic. And our audio quality improved. Now, I could have taken the road that this other guy took and just said, F you, hater. Our podcast is great. I never would have had that opportunity to improve. And I never would have had that opportunity to learn from Circuit on how he edits, to learn how to do it myself. Because now that he's kind of moved on, he has his own personal reasons for that. You know, he's got stuff in his life that he had to move on with. Him leaving, if I wouldn't have taken that opportunity to grow, I would have never learned how to edit a podcast. I would have never have learned how to do those certain things, right? So, yeah, that's something I think that we all have to learn from, and having that thick skin, having the right mindset and the right attitude, looking through that lens, right? That lens. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Feel free to jump in the Discord, Coffee or Robbie, or if any of you guys want to jump in, feel free to do that, because I think the next thing, we've got just a few more minutes here. I was going to see if we had any cool game clip submissions here. Let me just take a look. You don't want me in there? You go all Dirty Bombs on us. Man, that was so fun last night hearing Dirty Bombs. And for you guys that don't know, we do a podcast live on Mixer every Thursday night. And Dirty Bombs really he went ham, man. He went just ham, right? Which was pretty funny. I'm trying to see if I have any good clips here that we can watch. I don't think so. Okay, hey, let's give some critical feedback, right? See, Coffee, that's the thing, man. Like, there's this perception that, some people are just born great or born to do blah, 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 blah. Maybe 10% of that's true, while the other, gosh, I don't know, in this scenario, 90% are made into good leaders. Like, that's one of the things that, like, if you ever talk to people who've been in the military, they'll tell you is that you get some good qualities, but we'll make you into a leader. And they really do. They really mold you. And part of that molding process is this thing right between your ears, right? Changing the way you think, changing the way you respond to criticism, changing the way you respond to adversity. So so yes, I agree with what you're saying. I wish people would just put that game on the shelf and wait without dude, that's 100%, dude. I mean, there's so much trash talk right now against Anthem that's it's ridiculous. And a lot of it, people have just never played the game enough. So we're going to give a little bit of constructive criticism here for our last 15 minutes. I've been jumping back into Destiny 2 recently. I used to be pretty good at Crucible. It's gotten, like, the Crucible feel has gotten better, but it's still not where it needs to be, in my opinion, from the days of trials and things like that. There's still a lot of team shooting, things like that. Plus, I'm really, really rusty at Crucible, and I jumped back in it because I'm grinding out for some of my green armor and blue armor. Try to get the armor for this event they got right now. But one of the things that irritates me about Crucible, and this is just a horrible play, we don't always show the best plays, right? We want to show the good and the bad. So this play right here, I got a little less aggressive because I was getting smashed, which feels weird because I'm used to really just smashing other people. So I was getting a little less aggressive. But the thing that irritates me a little bit about Destiny is a spawns. Now watch this spawn. I'm going to spawn in. Right? I'm changing my loadout. Spawn in. And then watch what happens. Like, I get a couple of good shots on this guy. A couple of guys here. And then all of a sudden, dead. Guy spawned right behind me. 2 guys. They chose to put the spawn point right behind me. I was like, what the heck was that? Right? Like, you put the spawn point right behind me, man. See, exactly. You're back 99% time. I like the Crucible a lot, right? I like that used to be my jam in Destiny 1. Yeah, they literally spawned them right behind me. So Bungie, if you're listening, I'd really like you to look at that. Look at how spawns are done in Crucible. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Let's see. What is this other clip I got here? I can't remember what this one is. Let me just see. What was this one? I don't even remember what this one was about. I don't even think it was. I think it was an accidental clip. Oh, here I got a little bit of a clip here. I can show y'all. I got this new build for my Ranger, which is super fun. It's my my melee Ranger. I have 2 primers, the Venom and the Flame Grenade. I can't remember it. And then I use the new melee that you have on your Ranger. And so everything is just like smashing with my Ranger, right? I just smash everything with my Ranger because I can throw out that grenade. When it hits, it puts everything around it on fire. And then I have my Venom. I have 6 shots of my Venom I can use. And so it's just utter mayhem, dude. That's all it is. It's just mayhem. That's Grandmaster 2, Robbie. But you can see I'm just tearing through those guys, right? Like, it's a really fun build. I've really enjoyed that build. So if you guys are playing Anthem right now, that'd be a fun one to look into. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna shut her down a little early today. I didn't have too much to talk about. I didn't prep too much because we had the podcast last night, and I was talking about. I was getting prepared for the podcast. I've been trying to get a good build for my Ranger. Dude, totally. I will. You know what? I think I might have screenshotted it. Let me go back. I think I may have screenshotted this build so you can see the actual weapons I used. Yeah. Here we go. So I use this one right here. Pull it up for you. Yeah, can I make this larger? I got this legendary that I used, the Tactical Onslaught, which is quite awesome. I use that one because it gives you that 6 charge. So you can just basically, whenever you run out of your, whenever your fire ability, which is this one here, can't remember the name of the gear piece, Explosive Blaze. Yeah, when the Explosive Blaze is recharging, you can use the Venom to prime, and you literally just melee everything. Make sure you have the rampant, is it rampant or rampage, something like that, on your mace. And then you will just, dude, it's so fun. It's like you're a Smash Bro. You're just going around and smashing everything. It's so fun, man. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me and chatting about this topic. I felt like I rambled a little bit today, but I think some of that stuff, hopefully you can get some good takeaways from that. But we do this every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. If you ever want to, hey Robbie, really appreciate that feedback, man. Thanks for saying that. If you guys ever want to jump into our Discord, right here is where you can get in. We play lots of different games. Let me just put that up here real quick. Right there, you can jump into our Discord. Or if you want to, you can call us and leave a voicemail on some of these prior episodes or things that you've watched, and we can discuss it here live. What up, pal? What's up, man? Appreciate the morning taco. So if you guys ever want to do that, feel free to jump in, give your 2 cents. We want to make this as interactive as we can, right? I don't want to just sit here giving you life lessons from Mule. I want to hear from you guys in the community. If you want to submit a clip to be used on the show, email us the clip at themulebag, T-H-E, mule, M-U-L-E, bag, B-A-G, at mulehorngaming.com. We'll play it here on the stream so you guys can watch it. We can laugh together or be like, oh my God, that's an amazing play. Whatever it would be. I know Tasty Lemons has some good ones that he puts in the Shed Discord. Thanks, Coffee. I appreciate that, man. And that's the thing here is that the reason why I want it to be interactive is because I don't know everything, right? I'm still growing too. So you may have a point or you may have something that you can tell me or say to me that I'll be like, you know what? I never thought about that. And my lens will be adjusted. My attitude will be adjusted ever so slightly. And we'll all continue to grow and be better podcasters, be better gamers, be better human beings, be better at streaming, all of that stuff. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out in the morning show. You can catch us again live. The next stream we're going to have is going to be on, let's see, today's Friday, so Sunday, Star Wars Sunday. I may play a Star Wars game, I may not. We'll just see. Yeah, pal, sorry, dude. We go from 5:30 to 6:30. It's like the early bird show, man. You got to get up. Get your King's Coast rocket. I need you to come in here and give me some pal wisdom. Give me some pal. You got coffee going? That's exactly how you got to do it. Yeah, I got to get the kids up. Got to take them to school because, man, they've already started school. That's what's crazy. You can catch past episodes here on YouTube. So go visit our YouTube page, youtube.com/mulehorngaming. Appreciate that, pal, man. We try, bro. And we also have it on our website. You can go to our landing page, The Morning Show with Mule, and you can see past episodes there, guys. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. And remember, when in doubt, blow it up!